Hey folks, welcome to the show, America's News and Our Views, where the truth lives and the lies die, and the home, I guess, of where we started the Tea Party in Northeast Ohio, or all over the country. Came from our show here. We're the voice of the Tea Party, folks, in Northeast Ohio. And I have Carrie Macy, president of the Lake Tea Party. Carrie, how you doing?
Good. I'm anxious to be here.
And you brought David Macko, the Libertarian for Congress, District 14.
Yep.
Mr. Macko, how are you?
I'm fine. I look forward to speaking the truth. First, my website is mackoforliberty.com. www.mackoforliberty.com.
Okay, we're going to get started, folks. We're going to tell you what's going on, the real story behind the news, which you will not hear in the liberal newspapers or on the media. We're going to give you the real story. And if we got some solutions, we'll come up with those too. And let's get rolling, man. First of all, Obama raises $45 million at a little party. It's a strange deal. What happened there? I mean, what is that?
Don't you know he's the president of the little guy, the down and outer? Don't you know this?
How do you make $45 million at a party?
By selling graft and offers of corruption. That's how. And if the libertarians restore liberty in the constitutional government, we'll get an end to that, because we'll reduce the government to its constitutional function, so there'll be a lot less to buy. By the way, also, if I'm elected and if Obama is reelected, if enough Americans don't wake up, I will move to impeach him for war crimes, treason, and making the Constitution a piece of toilet paper.
I like that. I like that impeachment thing. I like that. You know, they're talking about that. You know, there's a sheriff out in Arizona, Arpaio. Okay.
Joe Arpaio,
there
yes.
you go. Well, he has his first in command is a friend of mine out of Cleveland. But her name is Neroni. I don't know if she's going to hear this show or not. But anyways, this guy is really going after this birth certificate problem with Obama. He's saying this guy definitely was not born in this country. He was born in Kenya.
Boy, when he sinks his teeth into something, he doesn't let go.
Yeah, he ain't fooling around.
He's a true patriot, that guy.
I think they're going to break away. I think those states out west are going to start breaking away.
Well, I'm running a moderate campaign. I do not advocate secession unless a clear majority of my constituents or the people of Ohio demand it. Then, of course, I have to, one, follow the Constitution. I have to follow all the promises I've made, because my promises don't expire. They will last as long as God lets me last. And then, of course, I follow the will of the people. But I want to restore the Constitution, limit government, so states, especially the better ones like Arizona, don't have to secede. But it is a
they're talking about it. They're talking about it.
Naturally.
Not only that, they're talking about it from Washington State all the way down to Texas.
Texas.
And, you know, Texas never was a state. You know, they never were part. They never were part of the United States.
They never were ratified.
No.
Wow.
No. Nobody ever signed anything. They just accepted Texas in, but they're still basically a Lone Star state. You know,
that's where that term comes from.
Absolutely.
And it was an independent nation for 10 years. They had legations there from France and Britain. In fact, when I was in Texas on vacation many years ago, I visited them. One of them is a historic site.
Yeah.
Long live Texas. Long live the Alamo.
Well, he's going to have a problem out there. And they sent in federal troops into one of those states, Arizona, or where was it? Where they sent anybody know about that?
For the immigration problem?
They sent in some kind of federal troops. No, there was a problem out there. Yeah, here we go again. So they come up with this stuff and then nobody.
Well,
but I'm going to tell you anyways. They sent federals. Do you know about them sending federal troops?
I didn't hear about the latest case. Well, the government's been using federal troops or federalized troops against the American people for over 50 years. What the solution, though, is that 218 members of the House of Representatives can stop that simply by refusing to fund the federal troops for the use of that for those purposes. We don't even need majorities in both houses of Congress to do that. We could stop BATFE. We could stop the FBI and the CIA. We could stop the whole police state that Obama instituted, especially December 31st.
But what you need is you need people in office that have the guts to go ahead and fight what's going wrong in this country. And that's what we're all trying. That's what the conservative movement and the Tea Party is all about. Putting the right people in office so these guys will get this thing done and then save our country.
Well, not like Dennis Kucinich, who took a plane ride and all of a sudden he's for the health care? You mean things like that?
Stuff like that. Here's something else. Here's another thing we're going to talk about. Anybody heard about this martial law thing?
Yes.
I heard about it. And let me tell you what I think is happening with this. If I heard about this, you're not going to believe this, but I was told this like 40 years ago, that if ever a president or a group tries to take over this country, they will declare martial law and stop the elections. And now they're talking about Obama declaring martial law, and he's going to do it probably with the gas prices. They'll run those gas prices so high, he'll use that as martial law and hold back the election. Possible. What do you think?
We have to get rid of all executive orders that affect the American people. The only legitimate purpose of an executive order is if Obama says, if Michelle says, well, we're running out of toilet paper, you need a lot more of it than we've been using. So he issues an executive order, we increase the supply of toilet paper in the White House by 20% because we're so full of it. Now, so all executive orders should end. Anything that affects, only Congress makes laws. And this whole martial law issue, this is a total attack on the Constitution. Again, it's making the Constitution a piece of toilet paper, and it's another reason to impeach Obama. And the fact that Congress has not already impeached him shows that Congress needs to be replaced by libertarians, by constitutionalists, by constitutional Republicans, and by other people who honor the Constitution. It's treason.
Let's jump. I like this guy. Let's jump. Everybody, would love to talk treason on this radio show. You're on the right show. Let's jump over to Mayor Jackson and what's going on with him in the city of Cleveland. Do you know anything about that?
Well,
I should have checked with you before the show. Do you know what's happening
about
with
the school issue?
Yeah. What's all that about? What's going on with that?
Well, I don't know too much about it, but the fact that the unions are against him,
yeah,
and the fact that the Democrat Party is against him indicates he might be on the right side on this one. Congress, of course, has no authority over education. It's not a federal function. We need to stop all federal so-called aid and control of education. I'm not running for state legislature now, so I can't do it now. But when I ran for state legislature in 2010, I recommended a education reform, which was to end public or government schools. We need to separate school and state.
So Kasich is against it too. I don't think Kasich is for it.
Oh, yes, he is.
He is.
He actually stood up in his church, and he actually asked for prayers for Cleveland for them to do the right thing with the school issue there.
Oh,
and him and Frank Jackson are actually in agreement with this, because I guess it'll be more based on merit.
But I think Kasich said he wanted more guys behind this thing. He needed more sponsors behind it.
Correct.
So no one's sponsoring it.
No.
That's the problem.
He's obviously, you're going to have the unions against this merit. He wants to schools based more on merit, to teachers, salaries, etc. And what's wrong with that? I mean, if you're not doing the job, get out of there.
Listen, Frank Russo, Jimmy DeMora, Blagovich all had this to say before reporting to their prison sentence. What did they have to say?
I bet you they said it's Bush's fault.
Absolutely. Go ahead. What do you want to say?
I was going to say that we need to get the cowards out of the federal Congress, out of the state legislatures,
Absolutely right.
and replace them with libertarians such as myself.
Well,